Stretch out your hand. Today in the gospel, Jesus heals the man with the withered hand, and the Pharisees respond. They were upset with him because he was healing on the Sabbath. And he asks them a question. Is it lawful to do good or evil on the Sabbath? And they wouldn't answer. And he becomes angry with them because they're non-committal and they're not wanting to recognize God where he is, right in front of them. And in the end result, they desire to kill him. Well, this, my dear friends, represents a witheredness that we have. You know, see, today I could talk about the hands of Saint Joseph because he held the Redeemer, and they were probably the holiest hands to hold the child Jesus. Could talk about the hands of the priests, especially after the first reading was about Melchizedek, the order of Melchizedek, and the new priesthood of the New Testament, and how the hands of priests hold the Eucharist and absolve sins. And those are wonderful things, but there's a deeper problem, people crippled or withered hand syndrome that we have today. It's a moral pandemic. We have allowed a contraceptive culture to breed where people call girlfriends wives, and they act like it. And that has brought about an abortion culture. And that whole ingredient has caused a transgender confusion where we call boys girls, women men, and we have began to call good evil and evil good. And we have discovered a certain kind of satanic inversion for our society. And this is a sad truth, but unless we recognize that our hand is withered, and where the real cause comes from. You know, the last year was harrowing with the election and the pandemic and the racial unrest, and all of it was very difficult. But it's just something that is a result of a root cause that is a moral pandemic, a moral riot, and a moral decision or election. We have elected to choose evil. We need to ask Jesus to heal not only ourselves and have a deep personal conversion to holiness, but to heal our society. We have to ask Jesus to stretch out our hands. And the problem there is that there's definitely a Pharisaical resistance to it. Now, the Pharisees are a beautiful bunch of people. I'm so grateful for them. I know that sounds weird, but let me explain. The Pharisees, when I was younger, I got into this thing like us and them. Well, who's the Pharisees? It's those people over there. They think like that, and they're the bad guys, and I'm the good guys, and do the whole us and them thing. That is a bad way to look at the Pharisees. You have to look at yourself as the resistance to God. Because if you don't let the Word of God hit you, you will keep defending yourself from God, from being converted. And so you have to ask yourself, what is the way, and I'm not willing to stretch out my hand to do good or holy things. How am I stretching out my hand to do evil things? How am I contributing to this? And what can I do to be the hands of Jesus Christ in the world? To be the hands and feet of making Jesus present in the world? What can I do to help that? Because if you don't ask that question, you will be a Christ killer, like the Pharisees ultimately became. You will kill Christ in your own heart, and you will contribute to the killing of Jesus, killing of moral law in society. I know that sounds drastic, but this is the truth. So let us ask today that Jesus would, in fact, stretch out our hands in holiness, hands reaching out to God and hands reaching out to God's people. God love you.